Hey guys, this is my first video and I'm going to be talking about ear stretching. Ear stretching is a process in which you are gradually expanding or increasing the size of your heel piercing. In the United States it's measured in what is called a gauge, and in Europe and basically the rest of the world it's measured in millimeters. Some tools to use when stretching are tapers. You can also use things like bondage tape that you can get at any kind of Spencer's store or any kind of sex shop. You can also use PTFE tape when you stretch, and you can get that at like any kind of like plumbing store or hardware store, basically like Lowe's or Home Depot, maybe even at Walmart. It's really cheap. It's like 99 cents a roll, and basically when stretching you want to keep your jewelry really like lubricated, and this is a taper. It's small on one end and it gets larger on the other, and basically just slowly like put this through the piercing, and it should slide right through. You shouldn't have to like force it or anything, and then you want to put your jewelry at the end of the taper and then just push it through and it's in. You definitely don't want to wear tapers because they deform your ears and just make them look really odd looking. Some things that you want to wear as jewelry are probably some plugs or tunnels. Plugs are ones that you can't see through, and tunnels are the ones that you can see through. And plugs and tunnels, there are different kinds of flares on them. There's ones that have a single flare that normally you'll wear with like an O-ring. There's ones that are double flared or called saddle plugs, where you can see they're wider on the edges. There's just no need for O-rings. And there's some that are just no flared. And yeah, there's so many like materials you can use for ear stretching. For stretch piercings, you can use surgical implant grade titanium or steel. Another really good material is glass, and you definitely want to stick with those three materials when stretching your ears or any kind of other piercing. And once they're definitely fully healed, like waiting like a month or two, you can use like other materials like silicone. I don't recommend using these to stretch with. Only use them as like jewelry for a fully healed piercing, because they can bond to your ear and you'll either need to get them surgically removed, or like they'll just like rip and like tear your ear, and it's definitely not good. Some other materials you can use are wood plugs when your piercings are healed, and also you can use stone too, which I really like. Some materials you want to avoid are things like acrylic. I don't even know they cause cancer. You don't want that, most likely. Other materials you want to avoid are things like electrical tape, because it has an adhesive on it, and the adhesive will make your ears like really sticky and gross. You don't want that. I don't recommend anything like scotch tape or masking tape, painter's tape, because it also has an adhesive on it. Some kind of oils and butters you can use are anything like a cocoa butter or like shea butter, and oils you can use are like jojoba oil, which I really prefer, and grapeseed oil, which I really enjoy. Yeah, so you just like want to like definitely keep your ears like moisturized throughout the day. Probably like do oil rubs probably 2 or 3 times a day, and before stretching just like put the oils on your plug or tunnel. You can also use other things like surgical lubricants. You can probably get them offline for, yeah, you can get them offline. Wow, crazy cats. But yeah, that's basically it. Comment, rate, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.